Welcome to Business Development Center Monthly, a show dedicated to talking about the Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center, where we bring you the latest information about the perfect place to get your business started. And now, let's meet our hosts.
Hello, my name is Greg Goddard. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Upper Coastal Plain Development Corporation, and welcome to BDC Monthly. Today I have Mr. Bob Wolf with us, who is the owner-proprietor of Carolina Christian Counseling, and also assisting me today is Mr. Tom Curran, who is the Incubator Manager. But today we want to have a discussion on what we do to help small business.
Well, my business is, as it said, it's Carolina Christian Counseling. The name says it all. We do biblical counseling, but try to handle today's issues with it. So in that sense, we have people with a variety of issues. We specialize in marital issues and trying to rebuild marriages today. That's been a real problem in our whole society today, that marriages are breaking apart. We deal with grief counseling, we deal with depression, we deal with parenting issues, and all kinds of things that just come up, whatever happens to be a problem in your life. It is a confidential service. I want people to understand that when they come in, that it is handled with confidentiality, and it's one of the things that I really enjoy about being here at Upper Coastal Plain. It's in a place that's in the middle of downtown, and people can come in here, and there's a place to park, and there's a place to be, and but yet they're
Pretty convenient location.
Pretty convenient location,
yeah.
and it's relatively anonymous. You can be in the crowd, and people aren't going to say,
right,
"Oh, there's your car parked in front of that counseling place." And so, for a lot of people, that's a big issue, to have a private parking and a good entry and a safe place to be.
Mm-hmm. Bob, I would expect during these economic times with financial stress and other stresses on marriages that you've actually seen probably an increase in some of your business.
Yes, we definitely have. It's picked up in particularly in folks my age having marital difficulty, which is something we used to not see until recently. But you really see marriages of all lengths of time being under stress and in duress because of the economic times.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your business and where you started.
Well, I started in 2005. I was with another counseling office, and I got the call to open my own office down here in Wilson, and I began looking for it. And I really encountered a number of obstacles, because my first thought was, having come from another counseling office, you need to have a receptionist. You need to have a place where people can sit and wait for you. You need to have somebody who's going to receive them, going to handle your phone calls while you're talking with somebody. You need to have computer lines and phone lines and data lines, and all of those things seem to me to be almost insurmountable for somebody starting from scratch and trying to do that.
Pretty overwhelming to start up a brand new business and at the same time having to get all the services that you need to support your business. Yes,
and so I looked at all those things and started adding up what I thought it was going to cost to do all those things. I just thought, wow, I don't even know if I should get into this and start. My wife, who's a very brilliant young lady,
nicer slides.
Yeah, called.
You're hoping she's going to watch this.
Yeah,
So
hope she
that's
watches this.
what I thought.
Was called the Chamber of Commerce, and they said, "Have you called Upper Coastal Plain?" And so I called, and when I began talking with Olga about the services that you provide here, I found out you have a receptionist. I can get phone answering service. You have a data line. You have computer service. And all of that is all the utilities. They're all included in one cost in the one price with the rent, which is much better than any place else I can imagine. Yes, very, very affordable. Right. It's been good for me, and the first year or so things were a little tough to meet that rent payment every month. But it's been the business has been growing. The location is quite good. Everybody knows where it is. Because if you've been around Wilson at all, you know the old Belk building, and you use that for descriptor, and they go, "Oh yeah, I know where that's at."
Well, it's a very interesting thing that you just brought up too. That you said, even with all of what we do at a very, very low price, it is difficult to even make that when you're very first starting your business, and that's one of the things that we're so sensitive about, and so understanding about, and that's one of the whole premises of having a business incubator. That it does protect that person to get their feet on the ground, to be able to get their clients in. And then the other thing that you said that I never even thought of is how great it is for your particular business that this building is so nondescript. In other words, it doesn't say counseling on the front. It doesn't say computer education programs. It doesn't say Carolina Quick Care or Chick-fil-A. Right. It just says a business development center, so the people sitting in our lobby could be going anywhere. And so for the confidentiality side, that's got to be a real plus for people.
Talk about confidentiality, that's not something you could have shared if you'd had a home office.
No.
Being outside the home had some real advantages for your type of
That's
service.
right, or even a small office, converting a home on one of the downtown streets, you know, those are all things we thought about. But in every case, if you've got 3 parking places, everybody who drives by says, oh, look who's at the counseling center.
Right.
So in this way, we have parking on the street, you can park around back, and then there's public parking back there, so there's all kinds of places where people can park and do other business while they're downtown, because one of the other reasons I moved here is I drove to downtown Wilson at noon and walked around to see our people out and walking around. And there's a lot of traffic, and a lot of people on the street, and a lot of restaurants and places to go and things to do. So I was very comfortable putting the business here, so I knew that people were in the area and were comfortable walking around the area.
And you know, one of the other points that you bring up there again is for folks who do have a home business. I know a lot of the times they feel that that's the least expensive and best way to start their business. And I always would tell them, you know, the good news is you're working from home, but the bad news is you're working from home. One implication of the bad news of that is when you begin to start taking deductions on your taxes for a home office, it is one of the major red flags for an audit with the IRS. Right. Here, knowing that everything is bundled into one cost, you have one expense that you can expense directly against the business, and then you have the legitimacy of saying, here's the place where I write my rent check that covers all of my things, and then there is none of that, well, it's 5 square foot of this office, this room that I use at home, and so much of my heat, and so much of my air conditioning, and you know, so much of my utilities. So.
One of the services that we provide here is a number of workshops, seminars that are offered to our client companies as well as the outside public is welcome. Have you had an opportunity, Bob, to come to any of our seminars or workshops? I
have been to one. I missed the one last night. I really wanted to come to it, but I had a prior commitment. I couldn't make it, so I hope you end up offering.
That was an accounting one, I believe.
That was the accounting one using
QuickBooks.
Wow.
So, you know, that's one I think that any small business owner would be helpful with, because it's the easiest and quickest way to get started. So I find those things helpful, and the things that you all organize, I look at each time you put one out and say, that's a good thing for people to have, and especially if you've never been in a business before, never had to run a business before, it gives you a good background and a good basis to start up.
And see, now this is something that I just found out. You missed a seminar last night.
Yes, I did.
But one of the processes we have here is that I can sit down with you and show you QuickBooks.
There you go.
Okay.
See, so I mean,
that's the other great service.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the processes.
Individual counseling that we do, and
mentoring and assistance with the things. So yeah, and it's not to find out how much your business is making.
No, I know.
Tell us. You know, especially those people that are watching, what you like most about having your business here. I mean, you've said a lot of great things, which we really appreciate, and we know that they're true, but if there's one set thing that you could think of, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but one thing that you say, but one thing that says, this is why this works best for me than it would in any of the other places I considered.
That's a great question, and I think probably the thing that sold it for me was that you have a variety of types of office space available. So when I came in, you know, we started looking at them. When I said to Olga, no, I really need a place where I can have a confidential discussion with people, and where people can come in and know that they're not going to be overheard by everybody in the next office. You have a number of enclosed offices. So you have a variety of styles that meet, but you had that one that met my particular one, and in fact a 2-room office, so I've got a little small reception area of my own.
Bob, you got a good choice in an office.
I have an excellent choice, and that was one of the things that really sold me on it, and that you would tailor it and put the things that I needed in it for my office. So,
yes, we have very affordable space, as Bob has talked about, but we also have a variety of space. We have flexible space that are 6-foot cubicles that work for a lot of businesses that don't need the confidentiality. Then we have a limited number of fixed wall spaces. Bob has one of those. We have very few of those left. We're in the process of building about 4 more of the fixed space office spaces in the facility. But we have, usually a space that's convenient to the customers that come in.
One of the other things that you had that I saw when I came in was that you also have conference rooms available. One of the services that I'm building with the business is we do weekend marriage seminars for churches, and oftentimes they'll want to have them at the church, but I find that to be inconvenient because they always have issues that want to pull them away. So one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing as that part of the business grows is to using the facilities here to have a weekend seminar on Friday night and a Saturday, so that people could come here and not be distracted.
Well, and one of the benefits of that is that the fact that you have 24/7 access to the building. So you saying, I would like to use the facility on a Saturday is not an issue at all, especially if it was your own office, assuming that no one else is scheduled to use a conference room on a Saturday, which would be rare.
Sure.
That's something that you have, and you also have that confidentiality side of, you know, the stigma, especially in a church environment, of, you know, trying to counsel or trying to do a seminar, or having people who would be more prone to come to something like that if it's outside of where they worship.
Right.
Speaking of space, we do have 3 excellent spaces. The business Nash conference room, the small conference room that you're in here, that's convenient for groups up to 20. Then we have a training facility with all the LinkedIn computer networking projectors and such on our 2nd floor, and then a large space on the 3rd floor. So we have a space that's available to our client companies and others at a very affordable price. And in some cases, our client companies don't have to pay anything, they just have to schedule the time. So these are some of the major benefits. In wrapping up, Bob, anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners about your experience?
Well, my experience here has been all good. I really appreciate the security of the business, the confidentiality. When my clients come in, they are treated very well. Plus, I must say that your receptionist gives me great service. If in terms of monitoring my phone, Jennifer is great. She presents a very good face for the company.
Speaking of your phone, this is a great opportunity for you. Another thing that one of the processes we do is some good marketing. So if you wanted to give the information on how folks who might need your services or are interested in finding out more about your business can give you a call?
I certainly would. You can reach me at Carolina Christian Counseling. The telephone number is 252-234-5943. You can also get me on the internet. We have a website at www.carolinachristiancounseling.net. or you can email me at carolinachristiancounseling@gmail.com.
Bob, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, and one last thing, they can also stop by the front lobby and get a brochure.
That's
Absolutely.
right. These brochures are available in the front lobby. Just walk in and grab one.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
Bob.
very
Thank
much.
you.
It was a pleasure. Thanks,
Thank you.
Bob.
Ready to pursue your business dream? Business incubation may be the solution. The Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center has the answer. The center provides an all-inclusive professional work environment where your idea can turn into a business. With affordable office space, business counseling, conference and training rooms, state-of-the-art phone and internet connectivity, office technology, and receptionist support, you can be in business in no time. Just call, click, or come see us at the Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center in downtown Wilson.
Welcome back to BDC Monthly. Our second client company is Carolina Quick Care Incorporated, who has their corporate office here in the BDC. And we have Susie Butt with us today, who is Director of Marketing. Susie, tell us a little bit about Carolina Quick Care and how you got started.
Well, we are a chain of urgent cares. We have 5 clinics in eastern North Carolina, and we started originally in Roanoke Rapids and then spread to Rocky Mount.
And you have 5 locations.
Yes, we're in Roanoke Rapids, Rocky Mount, Wilson, Greenville, and Kinston.
And I can tell the viewing audience, I'd tell you something, I'd much rather go to a quick care clinic than get hung up in the emergency room, because I've spent hours there with my children. And you can get in and out of a quick care center or a clinic that they have much quicker than you can an emergency room. And I might say today at a much lesser cost than being in the emergency room.
Correct. The cost is much cheaper for us to see a patient. They're only responsible for their copay, and usually most visits will take less than an hour.
So this is the evolution of the healthcare industry today. You're seeing more and more quick care clinics like this, so it's really a great way of getting quality care today.
Just so the viewers don't get confused, you actually do not see patients in downtown in this facility, though, right?
That's correct. Our clinic in Wilson is on Forest Hills. We're in front of Lowe's. And like our other clinics, they're all walk-in. You never need an appointment. We take insurance. And it's really providing convenience to the communities that we're in.
And immediate care, you know,
right.
Quick care or whatever you want to call it. You get it pretty quickly.
Yes.
Well, that's probably why it's called quick care.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
When we were talking earlier, you were explaining the fact that it was a benefit to have the corporate offices separate from the actual clinics. Can you explain that to the viewers as well?
Yeah, what we like to do in our clinics is really have our staff focus directly on the patients, you know, whether they're sick or injured, and let that be the focus at a clinic. So we prefer an off-site location to house our corporate office. We just think it's better for both people.
So really, one of the ways to look at it would be that the business of the clinics is the health of the patient, and the business of the corporate office is the health of the business.
Correct. That's a great way to put it. We always want to make sure in our clinics we're focusing on our patients. They're our #1 priority always.
Great.
Very, very interesting how Carolina Quick Care started as a corporate. My understanding from Dr. Mike Fiesel and Logan McCall, the CEO, they used to actually meet at Denny's.
That's correct.
Before they had a corporate office, they'd have their meetings at Denny's, and then they would go about their business. So we're happy that you chose the Business Development Center for your corporate office. And in fact, you were one of our first client companies when we got started in 2007. So is there anything that you see in this facility that makes it convenient, say security or receptionist? Tell us a little bit about your experience since you've been here.
It's very convenient, the location is for us. It's really centrally located to where all of our clinics are. We bring employees here for training. We have every other week our management meets here for meetings. So the location we just can't beat.
Right. Now, do you have one in Kinston? I was thinking you said Kinston.
We do.
You do have one in Kinston. So, yeah, between Roanoke Rapids and Kinston, Wilson would make a nice central location.
Well,
so, you know, great accessibility, convenient site. We actually market this facility to areas 30 miles surrounding Wilson. So we touch Nash, Edgecombe, Franklin, County, Greene, Wake. So we touch a lot of those counties. So for our viewers that might be wanting a corporate office or a location that's centrally located in this area, this makes a great location.
I agree.
Can you talk a little bit about, personally, you as an employee, you as a part of the corporate staff, what is it that you find that's most suitable or most likable to you about being located in this building? Just a personal reason.
Well, for me, you know, I'm the marketing director. I handle all our advertising. So whenever I have to set up meetings and bring someone in, it gives me a great place to meet with them. And then I also do all of our literature, our newsletter. So I utilize the office here for a lot of printing. The business center is just great for all the things I need to do. And anytime I need to use it, it's here. Yeah.
So you're talking about the fact that we have the administrative offices up on the fourth floor that has the printers and the high-speed fax machines and printing systems and everything else.
The printing facility is phenomenal. I use that every week pretty much, yeah.
Well, for our viewers, one of the unique things about the Business Development Center is that we have very affordable rates that includes all the high-speed internet connectivity, copier center, access to these meeting rooms that Susie spoke of. They're at no cost to our client companies. It's just a matter of getting them scheduled. So the amenities that come with an affordable lease makes it a perfect place for an expanding or startup company.
And I would say that it also is more of a focus on the cost effectiveness for your operation as a facility more than it is as a process, because you are an existing business. You do have all of your business expertise, your marketing people, your accounting people. You're already set as a business. And that's one of the other avenues that we have here is from a startup like Bob started his counseling business here, the difference between that and expanding an existing business. So it's not like
from Denny's to here is a pretty big step.
Yeah, like Susie's not going to call me up like like Bob did today and say, you know, I really need some help with QuickBooks. Can you show me some of the ways? You have an accounting department that does those
Right.
things. So it's this blend of being able to take care of everything regarding small business operation as an economic development tool. From I'm starting my business from scratch and I'd much rather have an office than work out of my home in my pajamas, to we have everything we need. We just need something that's very convenient, very affordable, because again, we equate the idea that the more you save in your business operation, the more the savings can be passed on to your clients, which is another reason why it's less expensive to go to a quick care than it is to an emergency room.
Yep.
Yes, definitely. And like I said, we enjoyed even having receptionists, all the amenities that come with renting here, and I think it is very cost effective to have everything bundled together.
Talk about security. Do you feel secure in this downtown location?
I do. Typically, you know, we're not here past closing time, so it works well for us. We don't have offices that work after hours or on the weekend, so this structure is perfect. Parking is great, safe, environment, convenient.
You know, that's kind of funny because this is you know, I'm also involved in downtown development, and you know, we're looking at all of the renovation activities that have been going on, and the investment that the city has put into downtown, the sidewalks and everything else. And it is interesting that the perception that people still have, and you've just taken care of one of them, there's no parking. Parking's not a problem.
No.
Number two is it's a secure place. And what's really interesting is that most people really believe that the crime rate in Wilson is highest in downtown, when the reality is the crime rate is highest in our shopping districts. The crime rate is highest in the parking lot at Walmart. The crime rate is highest in the parking lot at Target. And it's not because they're bad stores, it's because that's where people shop, have money. That's where, unfortunately, thieves show up. You know, we like to say that the good news is that we have very low crime rate downtown. The bad news is we have very low crime rate downtown, which means that we haven't gotten to the point of being so popular that, you know, that the unsavory folks would like to hang around down here. But I just think it's really good for folks to hear and try to dispel these rumors that this is a unsafe place, that you can't find a place to park or whatever, and to hear our client companies say we don't experience any of those.
Yeah. Susie, in wrapping up, tell our viewers a little bit where your locations are and basically what you provide.
Well, we provide walk-in urgent care.
Not by appointment, just walk in.
Just walk in. You never need an appointment. Again, we're in Roanoke Rapids, Rocky Mount, Wilson, Greenville, and Kinston. In all of our locations, viewers can find phone numbers, hours of operation, and more information on our website, which is carolinaquickcare.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Susie, thanks for coming in today and sharing with us what Carolina Quick Care has done here in the area. Let me just say that the Business Development Center has been here since November 2007. We've helped 17 companies, created 63 jobs, and we think that's a very important part of our economic development picture today. We hope that you will take this opportunity to come down and take a tour of our facility and see how we can help you grow and start your business. Tom, what do you think?
I think it's a great place to start a business, and we are so fortunate to have such great people to help us market what we have down here. Everybody talks about it being the best kept secret in Wilson, and things like this sort of break that mold. Appreciate it very much. It's really great talking to you.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
good.
you very much.